that we have as an organization that's a little bit different from some of the other training companies out there. We use a foundation of the 4 agreements. Anybody in here know the 4 agreements? The 4 agreements is not a business book, so if you're wondering, what did I miss? It's not a business book. It's more of a metaphysical book. But what we've done, and I can tell you the quick story, back in, I think it was about 2000, 2001, if anybody knows Ray Justice, I know that you guys know Ray. Ray was a good friend and coach and mentor of mine, still is, and he was helping me to make my business more meaningful. So, you know, I've been in this corporate training field a long time, and one thing that we did right away was we got rid of the full-day programs, and we went to little, you know, short modules over time and stuff like that, but we still felt like, I know that people can change more quickly, and I know that it can last longer, and what's missing? And what we found is these 4 agreements. And when people grasp these agreements, and we've interpreted them very pragmatically, so people can just understand what it looks like to, the first one is be impeccable with your word. And by the way, I think there's some, is there 4 agreements cards here?
Yep.
Yeah, so there's some 4 agreements cards over here if anybody wants anything on the table, you're welcome to a break. But the first one is be impeccable with your word. And this one, you know, you think about impeccability and people have different connotations with what that word means, and the author goes into defining what it means, and it really, I'm going to take the quick approach to the bottom line of what he says, it means not to go against yourself. It means to be authentic. It means to be real. It means to be honest. It means to follow up. It means to believe in yourself. It means to have good intent and communicate that intent. It means a lot of things. It's pretty deep. In fact, I've gone through certification on the 4 agreements, and they've even done a 5-day on just that first agreement. And when we put this throughout our programs, it's that, you know, that being impeccable is the core. That's what it takes to be a good team member, a good husband, a good wife, a good leader. That's really the key. And that's the key to open communication as well. Because you have the confidence, you believe in it, and you say what you need to say, but you say it in a way that's helpful. You don't say it in a way that's going to hurt somebody. So the way you deliver it is important. The second agreement is don't take anything personally. I usually chuckle with this one. Yeah, okay. Easier said than done. Now, when you think about not taking it personally, and there's a fine line between being really passionate about something and being too attached and taking it personally. Or caring about something, or taking it really personally. So there definitely is a fine line, but taking it personally actually means you do care and you are passionate. You're just not overboard on it. It means that you're not letting somebody push your buttons. It means that you can be objective and listen, and you can agree or disagree. That's really what not taking it personally means. And then there's don't make assumptions. So to not make assumptions, it means that we can't fill in information that's not really there. How many of us do this? You know, we laugh sometimes and say, I didn't even know I was making that assumption. Because we're not aware of it. And there's some things, of course, your brain needs to think about and all of that. But there's dangerous assumptions that we make. And for example, how about nonverbals? You know, we're taught to read nonverbal cues, and then we take it as a truth. And we think if somebody's sitting there like that, oh, well, they must be. And then we start acting as if they are that way. And, you know, it's an assumption, and it creates all this drama. And then the last one is always do your best. This one I like to call saving grace. This is the one that, if truly in your heart you're doing your best, that's all you can do. You're doing what you have. Now, you can't use that as an excuse. Well, I did my best. It has to be genuine. It has to be real. It moves back up to being impeccable. Always do your best, too, is about having the ability to stay present in the moment. Yeah, really just stay present. Anybody in here ever, you're maybe driving down the road and all of a sudden you get to your destination and you go, wow, how'd I get here? It's pretty scary, and we're all out there driving on the roads together. Well, you think about it, we're not really present. It's a thing that we do kind of habitually. And it takes a skill sometimes. It takes an effort to stay present in the moment. You know, we pride ourselves on multitasking, and I don't know about you, but if somebody's on the phone and they're doing something else and they're talking to me, I know right away. I may not say anything, but I know. You know, I know that they're not fully present. We know when people are, and it doesn't feel as good. be best is also about taking action. Do is the operative word, so we need to take some action and make things happen. How am I doing? I get off on this 4 agreements, so we could be here all day. Okay, so the 4 agreements are critical to that support and the open communication and the teamwork and the whole piece of this working. I encourage all of you, if you're interested, after you read them, we have a little card on it, go out and take a book, take a look at it, because it's something that can really make a huge difference in your life. And it's something that we've seen has made a huge difference in organizations.